Today we melt Blastopolis, as if he wasn't already melting enough already. And we're gonna use the least amount of cash to melt him, because that's what the rank scores are for this week. Honestly surprised that it's this low that you can use well under $1 million to beat Elite Blast. And not just a normal Elite Blast, but the modifiers are like double HP. So that's a 70 million HP boss by the end. And what if I told you that you don't even need Paragons to beat it cheaply? The cheapest way is going to be a familiar foe, which we'll get to later. For now, let's get the run started. And thankfully, they give us extra starting cash that we can greed with a farm round 1. The moneymakers like Ben and Geraldo were enabled, but we don't need them either. We're doing Azili for her totem buff. And I probably bring this up every time I play this map, but I just love the dynamicness of 1, 2, 3. More so, the fact that each of the 24 tiles of this map have 4 different buffs and can only be placed by 1 category of each monkey. Which adds a strategy, because now you gotta think where to place the towers that you want to place. Now, because Platform 2 wasn't available for round 1, my Dark Monkey had to be here. But it's fallen behind now, so let's get a sub now. Despite least cash, we're still gonna do the usual bank into IMF loan. So we get that on round 15, and then we wait for the bank to be full. In the meantime, now we can get down Azili. And don't mind me, I'm getting an early Barracuda to defend too, because yep, that's what we're going for. Gonna build that into a top path beast, of course. In the meantime, IMF, deposit, and in a few rounds we should have our mini Monkeyopolis set up. You wanna see how cool this is also? This tile over here is a discount tile, so even without getting a first discount village, we can already discount our discount village. Ain't that lovely? So now that saves a good amount, 10% on our tier 3s to 5s. Let me just see if I can suck it up now. There we go. And now our job here is going to be to get a balloon trap, of course. Just need a couple $100 for it. And we can get the party started. A couple of things that kind of suck, though. Azili being at the entrance is no good, of course, because then she's going to take away pops that can get into trap. So I'm probably going to need to get a Chinook as soon as I can to address that issue. Otherwise, it's going to cost a lot of money. Now, I can't discount my Chinook, can I? Dang it. Unlucky. Before we get Chinook, though, we, of course, got to finish the job with the rubber to gold coming very soon. Attaboy. Set, I guess, to last. Ooh, especially these life balloons here. Azili taking a lot of $50 away. So sad. Alright, Azili, time to get you out of here. Here's probably fine. And I do this a lot, but I'm gonna be especially greedy for tier 1 here. We're not gonna bother building defense right now. Blastopolis is really slow, so I definitely think I can get away with being greedy here. Now, what that greed entails is it involves going for a Sun Temple. Yes, a Sun Temple on tier 1. You heard that right. Somewhere over here should be good, I think. I'll buy 1 range upgrade because Blastopolis loses or kills the range bonus of every tower while it's active on the screen, which is really annoying. But I'm telling you, if you're watching my last boss video, then you would have known how OP Rubber to Gold, Balloon Trap, and Monkeyopolis is. And now add a Chinook on top of that. That is slowly going to make back the money. And we'll be there in no time. Probably, I would say, 5 rounds or so. So patience, money will be there soon. Oh boy, I also forgot to take into account the fact that Sun Avatar was going to make us hit max heat really, really quickly. But hey, it is free damage, so I don't mind doing that. Even though it does kind of mess up our towers here. Nothing wrong with a little bit of head start, you know what I mean? Look how crazy it is. With how bad Sun Avatar is against Blastopolis, it takes like 5 seconds for it to go from 0 to max heat. Also, maybe I should not have gone Sun Avatar this early, because it technically is taking away money that could have gone to the balloon trap. At least that's what I've noticed at times. On the bright side, it stopped attacking now, so we're probably good. Just keep on letting the downdraft do its thing, I say. Because we're only 20k away now, so I'd say like 3 more rounds. I gotta bet the Chinook has made more than 7k for me so far, because of the fact I can blow stuff back into the balloon trap. Not the camos, because I don't have decamo, of course, but you know what I mean. Okay, finally 100k has been hit. Now, before I sacrifice, I'm pretty sure it's not in range of, like, sacrificing the village, so I need to drop a totem, so that reaches again. And then now we're good. We can use it during the downtime, so we don't lose up time on that. And there it is. This temple is actually worse than the Sun Avatar. But once I start getting towers around it for buffs, then things should speed up, I'm pretty sure. Trust me. Okay, we don't have a lot of time to waste, so let's get our sniper down. 401, 402. Crew mob is very cheap, only 22k. And that gives every tower that hits Blast Populus an extra 5 damage, so you can see how that adds up. I'm not sure whether we're going to run out of rounds or track length first, but I'll try to stall the rounds a little bit in case that is an issue. I'll also keep Shunniking Azili around because she can actually hit Blast Populus as long as I use the Heartstopper ability. She does pretty decent mob damage too. There's Cripple, and now I'm gonna stall the rounds out. Yep, in fact, camos are perfect because none of these towers can hit except for Azili and the Chinook, so this will take a really, really long time to kill, and this should be GG. Keyword should. I might be overwhelmed by the amount of rainbows here, or are we good? No, I think we held off of it. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's a GG. I think tier 2, we can honestly just, like, keep the same defense around. We're also done farming from this point on because the temple makes enough money for me. I know a couple people brought this up last time I went for support temple, and were saying, why am I going for a max 50k sacrifice when 25k normally is enough? What I mean by that is if you actually look at the support sacrifice stats, then yes, going to 50k instead of 25 only gets you +1 damage. But because we're going for a Giga Chad Megalodon, which has way more than, like, a low base damage, so much so that +1 damage is going to do nothing to it, then yeah, it's definitely not worth the 25k in that case, especially since, you know, it is Elise cash, so 25k is a pretty big difference. And it's convenient that I guess the mini monkey opposites that we sacrificed early on is not too much above 25k. We're also just going to get Overclock and, you know, overclock the Crib Moab, and that should do the job. But we also might as well finish the job with an Ultra Boost too, because I'm going to need the Ultra Boost to Megalodon later, so rushing this first means I can now Ultra Boost a lot of things. Like, why not 10x Ultra Boost Crib Moab? That'll probably go pretty hard. Probably want to 10x Ultra Boost the village too, because that will give it more radius. I find it very fun to Ultra Boost villages, mostly for the fact that I can now discount more things in its radius. See how big that is compared to before? We do like to see that. Next thing to get, how about fast cooldowns? Energizer now means we can Ultra Boost things 20% faster and also get other abilities like Homeland faster. I gotta say, this is also nice. We're just stalling the Camo Regress Rams here. That'll buy me a lot more time to Ultra Boost what I need. And also guarantee that we don't... Oh, this is too many camos, actually. Never mind. I guess we can get started on building our big fish now, eh? The only bad thing about the Megalodon is, as you see, there's no water on 1-2 tree to really put the fish on. It's basically just gotta be working with this platform, and that's all. But that's just how broken Megalodon is. The fact that it's confined to such a small area, held in captivity, yet it is still able to do such things. I mean, I guess the range is no slouch either. Since you can move it around anywhere in the pond, you can probably see, like, 4 different parts of where Blast Populus runs around. GG's tier 2. In fact, check this out. Because I Ultra Boosted this village enough, I can now discount another village. This village here already is on the discount tile, but now I can doubly discount it so that I can get a Called Arms. Homeland Defense, only $28,000. What a steal. That's what we call money moves. Now, there is one other issue, and that is the other orcas that you need to build into Megalodon cannot be put, like, in a radius that doesn't have water. So, say if I put it over here, I actually can't get orcas. They need to be either here, which is too far away from the temple, or here, which is also too far away from the temple. But what if I told you can actually get around that by doing a Lord of the Abyss? Because this will build fake water. See where I'm going with this, so that we can now go for, say, a beast over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Merge it into that, and we're good. If not for that Lord of the Abyss, then we wouldn't have been able to upgrade to Orca in the first place. But that's what I'm gonna do. Now that tier 3's come in, let's work on getting the Megalodon to beat this tier. Alright, $40,000, let the games begin. Megalodon gives more range to our guy there. Use Homeland and watch it go to town. 1 skull ready, probably gotta wait for the loop around to get it to damage again, but that's all good. In the meantime, we can build max power on it. If we want to be tier efficient, then that answer would be to do great white merges instead of more orcas. It's way more cost efficient this way. Need 4 more. 124. And there we go. Max level Orca. I think the last time I abused Orca in boss events, I was talking about how there was a weird bug with it where if you stack attack speed buffs on it, it would actually inherit a stronger buff than what it actually gives. Like, for example, say all these buffs combined is like 5 attack speed. The Megalodon would somehow do, I don't know, 8 times. It's weird, but that's the way she goes. And, like, take a look at there. That does not seem right to me. That's just a Homeland Ultra Boost, and, like, what? It just jumped up, and within 1 thrash, it was able to get through a whole skull. That one took 2, because I didn't have Homeland or Ultra Boost for that time there. Okay, and Blast is a really annoying boss, because when he hits skulls, he will remove or slow down your ability cooldowns. That's really annoying. But seeing how OP that is, tier 3 and 4 are going to be a piece of cake. Everything we're building right now is, of course, just going to be for tier 5. So, is there anything else I can do to boost the Megalodon? Well, there is this. I can do a call to arms to help the downtime. In a normal scenario, we would also have almost full uptime with Energizer, Homeland, and call to arms. But once again, because Blast Poplus makes your abilities go slower, I'm actually highly contemplating a 3rd call to arms. Like, keeping an attack speed buff active on Megalodon, I think, is so important that it's probably something I'll invest in. Yeah, let's not waste any time. Now our score is above 500k, but I don't expect to add a whole lot more. The rest is actually going to be a little bit of trial and error. But the thing is, if I want to maximize my chances of damage at tier 5, I need a tank's Ultra Boost that tower. So if you don't mind, could you let me cook for a second here? I'm going to drop a 0000 monkey, and then 10x Ultra Boost this thing, okay? I'm also going to drop a 000 darling over here, over on the attack speed tile, and 10x this thing too. Because I'm not sure how much more I need to add on top of Megalodon. It's a tall task to ask it to solo. All 70 million HP. So in case it's not enough, we're just gonna invest a little bit of money on these base towers here because they can be upgraded to do crazy amounts of damage. This can be Sun Avatar. This could be a Mad. See where I'm getting at? I'm not sure if I want to add a 3rd tower to 10x Ultra Boost, but first we'll see how many stacks I can like get on the towers, and then we'll talk about adding a 3rd or a 4th. Anyway, bring on tier 4. I'm gonna see if I can try to greed and get away with like still Ultra Boosting these things and not Ultra Boosting this guy, but I think I'll lose a lot of damage if I don't Ultra Boost it. See how it goes, though. We're not in a rush now, but I think we ought to use a Zeely Totem to give more range on the Megalodon, so that I think it's able to thrash on Blastopolis now. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Homeland defense now. And take a look at that. Without even Ultra Boosting the thing, it hit 1 skull now. That's why I'd say we're in a pretty good spot, despite this thing being freaking double HP. The more I think about it, the more I think Blastopolis is one of the easier bosses around. In fact, maybe the easiest boss? That is a bold claim to make, but I mean it. So long as you can get around the small downtime when you hit max heat, or the rocks on each skull, then it's not that threatening, because it doesn't spawn balloons like balloon areas, or move balloons forward like phase. Anyway, how are we looking stacks-wise? I have 10 on the Super Monkey already, and 8 on Dartling Gun. So I think there is time to maybe not get 10 stacks on the next tower, but a good amount of them. I think it could be another Super Monkey because... Okay, actually maybe not. This thing has no range at all. So I won't get the temple buff, so maybe not. No, not that. What should we do then? Well, let me beat this last 300k HP first, and then we'll think. Just one more possible option we can add. This is probably plan C, but I'm looking at the primary tiles and small tiles, and maybe a tech shitter's okay. Attack in the tech zone. The only bad thing about that would be it would add heat pretty quickly. Okay, and I guess that's one reason we shouldn't go for Super Monkey, because that adds heat pretty quickly, doesn't it? Okay, again, we'll just play it by ear, and oh, this is nice. The stall of the Crow Mob is really good, so I am definitely going to get 10 stacks on this guy. Yep, 10 stacks with 2 rounds to spare, so let's prep our Megalodon to put it as far top left as I can. Other than that, wait for Blast to come in, and let's just first see if this is enough. No additional towers, just a Megalodon solo for the most part. We'll get our Homeland down early, just so Kurmop can do its thing. So let me see, with Totem here, does it reach Blastopolis? Oh, nice, it does. Oh, I could have done it earlier. Maybe I should have saved Homeland if I had known he was going to be in range here. Oh, well. Not very optimal, but it'll do, it'll do. Its current DPS is looking like a solid, I don't know, almost 100,000. And that's just with Called Arms. Pretty nasty stuff. We can kind of gauge it by after each Thrash here. So 25.8, use Homeland now. Ends off at 26.597. So 700k there. Every time it jumps in and out. Homeland's out. Use Called Arms to deal with the downtime. And it's out of range now. Turns out having a Zeely Totem was really, really important, eh? Alright. First skull coming really soon. I think I'll just use my totem off cooldown. I was contemplating using it maybe again, only when it was going out of range, but I think I'll have to wait too long. And I might get totem back up again anyway. Oh, and then think about this. The angles of the stupid rocks make it so that sometimes I can't target Last Apocalypse. I have to kind of move, watch carefully, I guess, then, eh? Otherwise, I'll lose a lot of DPS if I just, spectate the Megalodon and not shift it around. God. Those rocks are another annoying thing I gotta keep track of, I guess. Yeah, this doesn't look good right now, y'all. We'll get another totem now for a bit more range here, but it's not even a quarter through when we're past a quarter of the rounds. It's a good indicator I like to look at usually. But we're pretty damn far behind. This would have been a landslide victory, though, if it was normal HP. So just think about that for a second. And there's nothing I can do here. That rock is absolutely killing our range. Not that it would have been able to see anyway, but still. No, it definitely would have been able to see. God damn, wait. How about here? Can I get it? Okay, now I can get it. Good. But now we lost totem, so now I can't see. Great, great timing, great timing. Should we just reset? Yeah, this is pretty bad, y'all. 130 and only 3/8 through. Okay, let me emergency add first this thing. 402 on last, just to stall the rounds longer, in case, rounds are an issue and not Last Apocalypse leaking. This will buy some time. Okay, I gotta say the stall is working amazing. It's still only round 131, but I think we're going to run out of rounds, sadly, to beat this thing. As you can see, though, we are really not off by much. I would say, by the time this exits, I don't know, 1.5 skulls? Well, let's just see it through first. Let me just see also a MAD, which is 52k. Would still keep us under 600k. Good to know, I guess. This would probably be ideal because, again, it doesn't, add heat as fast as these two towers do, but it's so expensive. I don't know, Chief. And it appears from this point on, Megalodon can no longer hit Last Apocalypse unless it has the totem buff, right? Let's just test. Totem on strong. Please hit on the right side. Yeah, it does hit. Okay, so there's still time there. But it appears we gotta go back to the drawing board, or rather back to 120, just to get 14 more million damage somewhere. First line of business, actually, Chinook this thing so we get under a discount village. Saves us a small amount. Actually keeps the number below 590, if that adds anything. Anyway, let's go. Sorry, can't talk right now, focusing really, really, really hard. I think, yeah, we didn't hit second skull until way past the bend this time, so extra 2 million damage on MAD was very nice. It just kind of sucks that we're still dealing with the round issue. I'm really greedy though, so maybe instead of going for a May Moab, we can just move the Kuro Moab to last instead, although that doesn't stall anywhere near as good. It will kind of do the job though, if you know what I mean. 131 here, we don't really need the plus damage, because these are really high base damage, so just on last. Is this the run? 3 skulls left? I think it's going to come down to the wire. This is not going to quite end up with the 14 million that I wanted, but guess I'll have to scrounge up the other 5 million somewhere then, IDK. Oh no. Get out of here with this rock. Are you kidding me? Well, that's GG for this run, because there's nowhere in this pond where I can have it hit. Last Apocalypse, that's crucial time that I cannot waste. Yeah, I'm just looking at this, and I don't think there's a way to scrounge the last 10 million without adding more. Unless I was super cracked. We did get under a 10 million at least, so I'll give us that. Well, you can't be serious about this, can you? We are on the second last round, 2 million damage to go. But only the MAD can do the 2 million damage, yeah. I think we ran out of rounds, y'all, but damn, that was so close. Alright, awkward moment here, but I actually had to restart an entirely new run because I messed up a couple things. Main reason is after trying multiple times again and failing, I realized that I forgot to overclock this village here, which normally can reach the range of the Megalodon. However, because Blast Populus reduces the range, then there are actually times where the Megalodon didn't get the range or the attack speed bonus, which was obviously fatal and why I was just oh so close to finishing it off. And I guess while I already had to restart, I did a couple optimizations to shave off like a couple $1,000s. And that's why our current aim for the score is sub 590k. Kept that Alchemist CC there to a 320 just so that I didn't go over 590 if I bought 420. Also, I had to try way too hard in timing or juggling 6 abilities at once that there was no way I could live commentate any of this, so yeah. The gist of it is I just made sure to juggle the abilities so that, one, I make sure to use the Mad ability when Homeland is active so that I get more damage with the burst off, since more of the damage contained in the Mad now is with that ability. And of course reposition the Megalodon so that I can see Blast Populus when its rocks are active. Honestly, this run here wasn't actually that optimal. There were a lot of times where Blast Populus, like, his rocks completely blocked my Megalodon, so there's no way I could have it attack for a good amount of time. But either way, it seems we can still be a little bit off from perfect and still get very close to beating it. So I'll leave you off with the live commentary of the last million HP. This is by far the closest I've ever been. Megalodon is still attacking and we have only 1,000,000 damage to go. Pretty sure the Mag can finish that off, right? That's why I'm just overclocking or ultra boosting the MAD now. And the round is still only at 136, so yeah. Good job there with the cripple installing the rounds. Now I can put on first though, because I know we're on a good time on our rounds, and nice. Beaten this time with plenty of time to spare, which is why sometimes it's better just to restart a whole run all over again, rather than beating around the bush and trying to salvage a run that you kind of messed up on. Either way, could you believe that indeed Megalodon did 88 million damage there? Yeah, I can't either. Let it be known that it's not a giant temple or a dark temple that's the strongest non-Paragon, but instead, a big giant extinct bluefish. Also, check this out. Top 5. I'll take that, and I definitely don't even want to know what these scores in the 400s are, because that's beyond my reach. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, but most importantly, use code ISAB. Or else. See ya.